want to see him die in prison, as I have asked the parole board to do in this case.
Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien not mincing his words when it comes to potential parole for Dr. Edward Jackson.
He's the most notorious serial rapist here in Central Ohio's history. Jackson is believed to have raped more than 36 women and has been behind bars now since 1983.
But he is now up for parole. But if Ron O'Brien has his way, Jackson will never join society again.
NBC4's Ted Hart joining us now live with who this so-called Grandview rapist is and what his real chances of parole really are.
Dr. Edward Jackson last came up for parole in 2009, and the board at the time continued his case for the maximum of 10 years. So this summer, he's up again. At trial, a defense expert argued that Dr. Edward Jackson had a dual personality, one that fantasized about bondage and rape at night, the other that practiced medicine by day.
He was a well-respected, prominent local physician, served on some area nonprofit boards, actually was active in the Crime Watcher program in his neighborhood.
When police arrested Jackson for burglary outside an apartment complex, they found a list of apparent rape victims in his car, names and dates. Jackson had used ski masks and gloves. He carefully broke into the homes of his victims, threatened them with a knife, choked them, tied them up, and raped them. It went on for 7 years, and investigators believe there may have been more than 60 victims.
The trial was fair. I think the jury tried. I think the truth was stranger than fiction, and it was really unbelievable.
Jackson was sentenced to a total of 282 to 985 years in prison. He has served 36. Jackson is now 75 years old and some might argue no longer a threat to the community.
I take the opposite view, and that is the victims, many of them are still living today with what he did to them, and therefore that's why he should be kept in prison.
At a minimum, Jackson will get to appear before the parole board this summer to make his case for why he should be released. The board, though, will also hear statements and consider letters from others, including the prosecutor, victims, and others. Local for you at the State Parole Board, Ted Hart, NBC4.